Hey guys, before we get started, I just wanted to say I have been live pretty regularly on Twitch doing some shiny hunting, raids in Sword and Shield, and is overall playing the games a lot. So if you guys want to interact with me live, go follow me on there and have notifications on when I'm live, that way you don't miss me. Thanks guys, enjoy the video. Pokemon Sword and Shield, I can say, are some of the most enjoyable Pokemon games I have ever played. The cast of Pokemon in these games is actually very good to me. If I can be honest, I like the majority of these Pokemon. More like literally all of them besides 10. Even with the 10 I don't like, these Pokemon aren't even the worst Pokemon I've ever seen. There are much worse Pokemon like this stupid looking thing. The majority of the Pokemon in the decks have great designs and concepts behind them. Heck, even the fossils are cleverly made despite how much Arceus hated them. But yeah, I think you guys know where I am coming from, where I'm talking about the not so great Pokemon in these games. If you haven't read the title already or haven't guessed it, I'm going to be talking about the top 10 worst Pokemon in Sword and Shield. In the past where I have made worst Pokemon lists, it got brutal for some Pokemon. I can say what I will say won't be nice about some of these Pokemon because obviously it's a worst Pokemon list, but you won't see the amount of brutality like how I do with Electrode or Torterra. Which, by the way, for all you Torterra fans out there, you guys know I'm not a huge fan of Torterra. I like Torterra more than some Pokemon on this list though. It's not the worst Pokemon in the world. Anyways, enough about Torterra. Let's just get into what I think are the top 10 worst Pokemon in Sword and Shield. So a lot of you are probably going to be shaking their heads asking, what are these fossils doing here? Weren't they in the top 10 best Pokemon in Sword and Shield? And yes, you are right, they were. I know it's weird seeing them on two lists, but let me explain myself. These funky fusion fossils are the best and worst Pokemon ever created. I mentioned earlier in the intro that the concepts were super amazing, taking two halves of fossils and fusing them together, and allowing the player to create brand new Pokemon. Concepts are great, super cool. But look at what they create. The literal children of Arceus that hate themselves. The fossils just look at you and say, please make me extinct again. It's like they acknowledge what they are and understand how people feel about them. Look at Dracozold over here. He's a happy little guy, then he asks himself, how in the heck did I get a Stegosaurus tail attached to my butt? It's like the episode of Family Guy where Cleveland and Quagmire fused together after the Y2K incident. I don't truly hate these guys, I love the concepts behind them, I'm just putting them here because they hate themselves. That's not the face of happiness. That's the face of keep me extinct. Coming up next is a Pokemon that may seem a little controversial, and that choice is going to be Dubwool. Now don't get me wrong, I love Wooloo and everything it stands for. The design, the cry, and of course the best part about it, the shiny. Dubwool though? This didn't come out the way I wanted it to. Like I was expecting more of a Tauros kind of ram, not a big fat fluff ball. If I can be blunt, I was looking forward to more of a fast hitting attacker, not a defensive like Pokemon. Based on everything I have seen stats wise and moves wise, I think it could do alright in the meta, especially with its fluffy ability, and moves like Swords Dance, Zen Headbutt, and Double Edge. It's tanky and can potentially set up a few Swords Dances. It may be more than a few due to its 80 base attack, but I don't think it will do horrible. I don't really have much hate to throw at Dubwool. I just wish it wasn't a huge fluff ball. Maybe if Farmer Brown gave it a little bit more of a haircut, I'd probably enjoy the design a bit more. I don't particularly dislike this Pokemon, just a small design change and wishing that it was more of a fast ram physical attacker. But alas, this is definitely not the worst Pokemon on the list as it's only number 9. So Dubwool is kind of just there and I have only minor pet peeves about it. Getting into more of a dislike approach and a few more things to complain about, we have CRAM Rant here at number 8. Now, I am not sure how you guys feel about CRAM Rant. I haven't really heard much of people's opinions on it, so please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Me personally, I don't hate on the initial design, but what's with its face? It just looks like it's clueless and puzzled at everything in life. The only thought in this Pokemon's head is when's lunch. It has the look of, feed me, feed me. Hey Kramer, how's it? Feed me. It's got two forms, the gulping form and gorging form. The gulping form is fine. I love the aspect of it having a little Barracuda in its mouth. It brings a new touch of design to the Pokemon drawing table, which I like. It shows the perfect representation of predator versus prey. But, my god, what in the heck is it doing to Pikachu? Why did Game Freak have to torture poor Pikachu like this? This stupid bird is trying to eat Pikachu, and Pikachu is struggling for dear life to escape. It's too dumb to realize what it's eating. Spit out Pikachu, you swine! Speaking of Pikachu, up next is Morpeko, which I can safely say is my least favorite of the Pikachu clones. With this design, I feel Game Freak just took Pikachu's cheeks, eyes, and ears and slapped it on with the black and brown color scheme. It looks so copy-pasted, and that's what makes me a little upset about this design. Pikachu clone design this generation could have been much better. I was expecting more of like an electric groundhog typing or something. To me, that would have been a much better idea. The typing of electric and dark was also reserved for one type of Pokemon that unfortunately didn't make it in the Sword and Shield, being Luxray. Not saying they can't give Luxray some kind of form in the future with electric and dark, but it's the premise of it should have gotten that dual typing first rather than Morpeko. Morpeko doesn't deserve this typing. I don't think this is as harsh as I have been to other Pokemon and worse Pokemon videos, so I will consider this as mild. Dreadnaught is a Pokemon I haven't really been super fond of since the day I laid my eyes on it. At this point in time, in the Pokemon franchise, we have way too many turtle Pokemon. Turtonator was last gen, then before that Caracosta, and then Torterra. I think it's time to stop with Turtlemons for a while. An alligator snapping turtle is a neat concept, but couldn't we have waited another gen for something like this and for a better design? Dreadnaught's face looks like a Bob the Builder paper shredder vehicle or something. I guess those are the best words I can use to describe Dreadnaught's design. Its Gigantamax form is also just it's standing up. Nice. And don't even get me started on the shiny. I thought we were past this with Dread again. Did Dreadnought just walk through vomit and sewer waste mixed together? Yeah, this Pokemon's gonna be a no for me, Chief. Lord Arceus, what is this thing? The Electrode of Rocks? Wow, maybe I am being a little harsh in this video. I guess I take back what I said in the intro. Oh well, may as well go all in now. This Pokemon is basically like, hey guys, let's draw a rock, put eyes on it, and make it look semi-happy. From what I can see, this Pokemon seems to be based on a golem, but I think it could have been done a lot better. I also see the Stonehenge concept behind it, but there could have been a better Pokemon for that approach too. Maybe a legendary stone golem would have been the bigger approach rather than Electrode Rock. Does anyone even like Sojourner? Is this anyone's favorite Pokemon? I don't really have that much left to talk about with Sojourner. It's just a Pokemon that doesn't stick out to me, and I have a feeling it's going to be one of the most forgotten Pokemon later on down the line. Alright, it's time for a rant. Are you guys ready? The water Pokemon selection in Pokemon Sword and Shield suck. The designs for most of these Pokemon are horrible. Not to mention we hardly had any options to pick from. I went to Nessa City expecting to get some kind of awesome new water Pokemon, and then I get this. Thomas the Tank Engine looking fish. Barracuda is supposed to be based around a Barracuda shark. That sounds like a dope idea, but the concept done for it is a no. Barracudas are supposed to be ferocious looking, not look like the school bully who takes your lunch money. I will say one positive thing about it, it looks like a torpedo, and that would have been sick if it were more metallic and a steel and water type Pokemon. That's something I can hop on board with. At this point though, I'm going to take a second away from the Barracuda line and talk about the missed opportunity Game Freak has. You guys may have guessed it by now, but earlier in this entry I mentioned lack of water Pokemon in Generation 8. Yeah, they messed up again. You want to tell me where my Dolphin Pokemon is? Each generation of Pokemon, fans look forward to that Dolphin Pokemon, and yet in Gen 8, we didn't get it again. A Dolphin would have been perfect for Alola, and could have worked for Britain, especially if we could go out into a boat and head towards the Bay Area Nessa City. Imagine helping out Nessa in this story, and part of her gym challenge is helping the Dolphin Pokemon hop through hoops. Wouldn't that be a dope idea? No well. I guess I'll just keep dreaming about my Dolphin Pokemon. Here comes my least favorite of the Galarian starters being Inteleon. There was a point where I was Team Sobble, and I think a lot of you guys know this. I liked all three of the starters at one point, going from Kruky, the Sobble, and then from Sobble, the Scorbunny. I love Sobble ever so much, and its middle evolution is actually not so bad. But then we get to what I think is one of the worst designed starter Pokemon. Torterra is better looking than this thing. I'll say it again. Torterra is better. I get it. Inteleon's supposed to be based off of Secret Agent, but why on a water Pokemon like Inteleon? It looks like the adult that wants to be a secret agent or a cop, but doesn't actually make it. Inteleon probably pretends he's a cop or secret agent on Twitter or something. So to round out my final point about Inteleon, it looks like a character that came from Shark Tale. You guys remember that dumpster fire of a movie? The way how Inteleon's legs are and its body shape looks like it came straight out of that movie. So a pretend secret agent slash cop that looks like it came out of Shark Tale is the best way I can describe Inteleon. I thought the worst could be done after Inteleon, but nope. Now we got this thing. The evolved form of Galarian Meowth, which I don't think was needed by the way. Both Pokemon are just kind of meh to me. Cantonian Meowth is best. Alola Meowth and Persian are alright, but this Galarian form and evolution we didn't need. Meowth has gotten way too many dang forms, and none of them are even great. People say Charizard gets too many forms? At least Charizard's forms look fine. These new forms of Meowth just look like uglier Mogwais and the troll from Dora the Explorer fused together. Either way, they're just another yikes for me. Kruky, my dude. You're my second favorite Galar starter, and I have one of the coolest final evolutions I've ever seen. But how in the heck did you wind up with this? This rejected Flintstones character that seemingly looks like a person in a costume. I don't know what it is, but when I look closely at Thwackey, I immediately think of someone in a costume. Am I the only one who sees it? I can also say Thwackey looks like it got rejected from Madagascar too. I guess he couldn't just move it all that great. I can see why too, moving around in a costume must be hard, especially with 2 sticks in its hand. Also, one of my biggest reasons as to why I don't like Thwackey is because it wasn't introduced in Alola with Passimian and Oranguru. This would have been the perfect Alolan Pokemon. If it debuted in Alola as a completely separate Pokemon, I would have had less of a problem with it. It's just the fact that you have such a great evolution line with Grookey in the final evolution, but the Pokemon in between just looks like it just doesn't belong. It's literally a separate Pokemon from this line. Go back in time, put Thwackey in Alola, then boom, our problem is solved. I mean, it just screams Alola. The facial features look like a Hawaiian mask. I can't be the only one who sees this. Well, that pretty much wraps up this list of the top 10 Pokemon I think are the worst in Pokemon Sword and Shield. I think I may have gone a little far on some of these, but I feel I have said worse and other worse Pokemon videos before. Either way, I feel a big chunk of stress has been lifted off my shoulders because I have been wanting to vent about how I feel about these Pokemon for a solid week now. Pokemon like Electrode though will always be dumb looking, but now Stone Journey can join him for tea parties. See, at least Electrode has a new friend to talk to. Even though I thought these 2 Pokemon were blah, I still like the majority of Sword and Shield Pokemon, and in my opinion, this has been one of the better selections of Pokemon we've seen in a while. I know that's super subjective to say, and a lot of you are going to disagree, but hey, that's fine. To each their own, right? Speaking of that, tell me in the comments below what you guys consider to be the worst Pokemon. I cannot wait to read all the hot takes in the comments and see the heat just unravel and unfold. You guys are very vocal about this stuff, and that's what I love about this community and audience. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream a lot of Pokemon content and all kinds of other Nintendo content like Zelda, Fire Emblem, and much more. Also, I've been reviewing every episode of My Hero Academia Season 4 over on Mystic Sage, so head over there if you're into that too. I would love that a lot. Want to support me further and gain cool perks? Check out my Patreon. Daniel Leone, Lady Crimson, Memory Martin, The Lazy Leo, Matthew Young, Awesome Lego, Jarrett Weiss Austin, Sodden Grider, and Enigma97 did, and I want to thank them personally for going above and beyond. It means the world to me. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mr. Gumbrand, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.